Okay, so we're going to talk about some screen capturing tools, which I thoroughly enjoy, obviously, because I do it all the time to make these videos. But I think that they're a really powerful tool that you now have with students in one-to-one devices with Chromebooks, because students can capture what's on their screen with an image. They can annotate it. They can mark it up. They can also screen record what they're doing, or take video record and explain what's happening on their screen, and be able to kind of show their learning in a different way than just filling out a worksheet or doing a problem set and so forth. So this is kind of like this new whole world. They were able to take video before with an iPad, but they weren't able to really cast what was happening on their screen unless you were inside certain apps. And some people used it like that, but we now have the world of browser tabs and where you are on the web and being able to record that. So I really want to take some time to go through some great tools for that, and give you guys some time to think about ways to use that with students in the classroom. Not just I'm making a tutorial for you, which is what I'm doing, but really how could students use this to show their learning or explain something, or spark a conversation in your classroom. So I'm on a website. I'm just on the NPR homepage, and so I want to talk about the first couple tools would be screen capturing tools. And I'm using what are called extensions. And so extensions are going to sit in your browser, and no matter where you are on the web, those extensions are going to travel with you. So if I'm at YouTube and I want to quickly record my screen and explain why I chose this video to represent the conversation that we're having in class, I could do that. If I'm on a news website like NPR or Newsella, I could screencast myself close reading an article and marking up that article. So there's all different kinds of ways that you could use this tool. And those are just a couple that I'm trying to throw off the top of my head. So the first couple of tools that I'm going to do, again, these are all extensions. I'm going to talk about a couple of screenshot tools. I have 3 screenshot tools sitting in my browser. I've used all 3 differently, and all 3 have pros and cons. Naturally, none of them are perfect. They're free extensions that sit in my browser. So the first tool that I'm going to talk about is Joxy, and I'm going to show you the tools, and then I'll take you to the web store, and we'll get the tools, and then you'll have some time to play with those tools. So the first one is called Joxy. It's this little bird here, and when I click to open it, I signed in, so this is me, and I can either select an area, and this is a screenshot tool, or I can get a whole page scrolling screenshot. The benefit of using an extension, another benefit, I should say, because one is that they go with you everywhere you are on the web, but another benefit to using this tool versus just a screenshot on your Chromebook, which is Control and then the multiple windows key, which is the key above your 6, or Shift Control and the multiple windows key, which will do a selected area, is that you get tools on the web where you can mark these things up. So I'm just going to do a selected area, and I'm just going to model this selected area screenshot that I'm going to take as a See, Think, Wonder. I'm going to use this for an inquiry See, Think, Wonder. So I had the students go to a website. I had them take a picture of something that they are looking at, and then I want them to annotate this and See, Think, Wonder. So a couple of things. Joxy, it appears, unless I am special in a way that I can't figure this out, so I hope maybe one of you can. I can't change the color other than red, and I cannot figure it out. I went through all of their help guides, and they're all in Japanese, and then I translated them using Google Translate. I still can't figure it out. So if you can figure it out, you get bonus points. So I'm just going to rock it out in red. The reason why I am choosing this tool is because on this pencil draw tool, when I'm selected, I can actually use my finger on my Chromebook screen and mark up this drawing. This seems to be, and again, I might be wrong, and if you find another tool that works better than this seems to be the only one that lets me do that, where I can actually draw on my screen and get a pen. Okay, so I'm just going to draw, and I'm going to point to the water. I'm looking at the water, and I'm like, I wonder why. I'm seeing that there's water. I'm going to, highlight things, and I'm just using my finger on my Chromebook screen. So that's why I like this tool. It has other tools, like you can draw straight lines. You can use the arrow. If you move this down, they're giving you like little heads up here. So you can make a round and angle to 45 degrees. You can, if you hold down shift, you can make a straight line. So they do give you like little tips. I moved it up here just so it was out of the way. I didn't like it down here because I have my shelf auto hid. So my auto hid shelf kind of pops up in the way. So you get other tools. I can just click and I can add some text. So I see water, and maybe I want to add some more. I see, I'm doing a see, think, wonder. I see what looks like kids and adults. You get the idea. Once I do that, I can move this around my screen, and then I can make it bigger, smaller. I can do all that. I have this substrate selected, so it gives it a background. If you don't want that, you can check around, check it again. I cannot figure out how to change the color. And undo, redo, so I can move this around. Another nice tool is that they give you this auto 1, 2, 3. So I see. Now if I click again, I'll get a 2, and then I can come back to my text and I say it. I think there is a flood. You get the idea. So this is Jaxi. And again, the reason why I selected is because of the touch capability. I kind of love, like, I wonder what they're carrying. I wonder if that's all their personal belongings. But you get the idea. All right, so that is Jaxi. So then once I do it, if I hit this check mark, it's going to locally save under here, and you have a gig of storage in this tool. But I love this, right? So I'm just going to say save, and then what it's going to do is it's going to download it. And it automatically goes into my downloads folder. So if I say shown folder, it's going to open up my files folder in my Chromebook, which has my downloads, which is my local storage. I don't want to keep it in my local storage. I want to use my Google Cloud. That's why I love Google Chromebooks, because my cloud is sitting right here. So now that I have my screenshot here, I can just quickly rename this. Right click, say rename. And I can do this as my see, think, wonder. Maybe it's my warm up for class. And then I want to drop it, and I can move it to whatever folder in my drive I want. So if I have a classroom folder I want to move it into, or I can drag and drop it here. Or if I'm just uploading it to Google Classroom to turn in, I could do that as well. So I could just leave it here locally and then go up to Classroom and dump it in, and then it'll automatically get put in that folder for me. So that's one tool to talk about. So that's Jaxi. Another really great screenshot tool is Nimbus Screenshot. So if I'm here and now I want to screenshot this, so I can go to Nimbus, and so the Nimbus menu is huge. They have a whole bunch of tools, and they also have a video recorder that I'll go to when we talk about video recording. So I'm just going to capture a fragment, and it's going to give me, like you see this box that's going to follow me around, so I can pick just a part. I can also come back up here and do selected area. And I just hit escape and then escape again. I can come back up and do selected area, and that'll give me, like, do you see this box that's traveling? And then I get the crosshairs, so I can drag it over this video. And maybe I want to talk about seething wonder on this one. So I get an edit, or I can just snap a picture. So if I choose the edit, I get a really nice editing menu that allows me to crop. It also allows me to annotate, add all of the same things that I did before, except for the drawing tool. I have to use my trackpad or an external mouse, which is really disappointing because I'd love to see it be more touchscreen compatible. And I anticipate that happening very soon, but who knows? I've been anticipating that for a long time, and I feel like everyone's just laughing at me now. So this tool lets you change the color, which is nice. So you can change the color on this tool, and I can choose my pen, but again, I'm trying to touch my screen and it just moves up and down. It's not touch screen compatible yet. So I'd have to drag my mouse around to do that. Now, what I do get is some nice text features. The fact that I can change the color, so text features. I get more options by changing the font. I can change my font, and then I can change the size of my font. So that's nice. I have a little number 5 in there. And then I also get the same tool at the end. Let me come back to drawing tools. If I go back to drawing tools, I also get the same numbering tool here, and I can also do it this way with like a 1 around it. And so if I click, I can also label a screenshot. So the same idea. So this tool is great if I'm just doing, text or shapes on top, and I don't need that freehand option. They have some little boxes, so you can make like a little flow chart if you wanted to on here. So they have some nice features, a little transparency feature. And then once you're done, you click done. And then this is nice because I can just quickly send it to my Google Drive. I can send it to my drive. I can also save the image, which will be a download. And then I can send it to my drive, and it'll link up my accounts, and then it'll drop it in my drive. So, which is pretty great. It is going to probably take you through the same account authorization that it's doing with me. And then once you do that, you're good to go. So that's another great screenshot tool. So again, pros and cons to both. I'll do one more screenshot tool, and then I'll show you where the screenshot tools are, and then we'll talk about screencasting. So now if I send this to Google Drive, now that I've authorized that, you see I get like a little progress bar, and then it's going to put it in my drive. And then this is nice. I can copy the link to the clipboard or copy the image to the clipboard, so I can paste it right into like a Google Doc. I can get a shortened URL for it, or I can send it right to my Google Classroom. How great is that? So maybe you wanted students to turn it right in, they can send it to Google Classroom. So great. All right. The last one I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to come back to my NPR site, is Awesome Screenshot and Video. And it says Awesome Screenshot Screen Video Recorder because it does exactly what Nimbus does. It does both. And the video recorder feature of this is new. So this is going to be an awesome one for me to show you for both options. I just can come here and I can say, okay, I want to capture the same image that I had before, and maybe I want them to grab this headline too and kind of analyze the headline. And you'll notice all of these tools, when I shot them before I clicked the check mark, I get this nice ability to kind of edit my size of my screen, so I'm not committed to it. Like I always screw up when I'm using the snipping tool on a PC because I'm like, oh, I missed and you have to escape and start fresh. This will allow you to adjust it. So same idea here. I'm touching my screen and it's not optimized for a touchscreen Chromebook. I anticipate, again, same thing happening with this tool, but again, so the only one that I've found, and I might be wrong, and I would love for you guys to find other ones, is Joxy that'll allow you to actually move your hand on the screen and draw on it. But This tool has the same features as Nimbus by typing. They don't have the 1, 2, 3, 4, so you'd have to label those, but they do have more fun fonts. So maybe if you wanted a different font, their color picker's a little bit less intense. You can do kind of like a fun painting on it, and then you can move these things around. You can crop your image. You get a few different types of arrows. You get a few different types of shapes. You can change your transparency, and then when you click on a shape here to delete it, when you click on it selected, you can click on this remove, and that'll remove it, which is great. So it's, simple, streamlined. I'm able to, I should change this color because I can't see it at all, to just quickly write on or say, I know I'm noticing this, I'm wondering about this. This is what I want to do. I'm still sticking with my notice, think, wonder. And so then if I click done here, this is where there's a difference. So this is you only get one project over here, and that's that being signed in. If you don't sign in, you don't even need to worry about that. Like, I wouldn't even worry about it. I would just do a local save my image, and then because you're on the Chromebook, this one's actually going to bring up the file Explorer, and you can put it right into your drive without dumping it into your downloads. Or once it's in the drive, you can move where it goes. So I could select my folder now before I save it, and save it into my drive, and then hit save. So that is 3 tools for taking screenshots from the web to the next level. So where are these tools? These tools are in the web store. So from your Chromebook, it's under All Apps Web Store. If you are on your PC, you can use all of these same tools. All of these tools you and your students can simultaneously use. If you're on the PC, your apps are going to be up here in the upper left where mine says bookmarks. It's going to say apps, and then you can get your web store. These are extensions, and so they're going to sit right here in your browser. They're not even an app anyway. They're going to be in your browser, and if you're signed into Chrome, they're going to travel with you no matter what device you're signed into. So you'll notice I'm on my Chromebook right now. If I was recording from my laptop, you'd see the same extension sitting in my browser. So your Chrome Web Store, when you come here, the default, if you're on the Chromebook, is to be at the HCSD App Store. And all of these tools are in here. You don't have to have students scroll through here and try to find it. If it's in the web store, they can install it. So those 3 are in the web store. So they can just search. If they search for awesome, it'll come up. I'm pretty sure we'll find out if it comes up. Yeah. And so they're going to break it up by the first return is going to be extensions. The second return is going to be themes, which they can't change. And then apps will be the last one. So an app is going to be basically just a shortcut to the website. So the Awesome Screenshot app is this, not this. It's when I signed in and it took me to like my Awesome Screenshot home. I don't recommend using those because you don't need that. So I'd use an extension, which is going to sit up in your browser. So here's the Awesome Screenshot. They should be able to add that if they want to sit and pile through the Chrome Web Store. They're welcome to, but they're in there under the HCSD App Store. If you search for Joxi, Joxi, same thing, and you'll see mine, it's telling me they're added. So they're coming up. You can install these. You just click Add to Chrome, and then it's going to install. And then the last one is Nimbus. Sorry. And when you search for Nimbus, again, that's going to come up here. Nimbus has a whole Nimbus Notes, Nimbus Web Clipper that allows you to stick it into a note and make like to-do lists. Nimbus has like a whole library of tools. This is the one that I have installed, which is Nimbus Screenshot and Screen Recorder, and that's the one that I would have them install as well. And those are under the HCSD App Store. So the students can't install anything that doesn't exist here in the HCSD App Store. We can add apps if there's tools that you find that are better. But you can click on the Chrome Web Store home and browse your little heart out to find other extensions or tools. There's a whole section of capturing your screen and explain and send screenshots. They have tons of them. So I used the light chat for a little bit, and I removed it because it was the same as Nimbus or Awesome Screenshot. Last I remember, you couldn't use your hand on the screen to screen record it. But the marker tool I've used before too, and that one works the same way. So, but I may be wrong. Play around, find other ones that you love. But we're going to actually come back into this section and dive a little bit more into screencasting. So those are screenshots. That is 3 tools for doing screenshots in your classroom. And now the assignment is going to be ways to actually integrate this and use it with students. And I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.